Hello, hello, my Aquarian collective sun, moon, rising signs. Welcome to your What Do I Need read for this full moon to new moon next in May 2020. I am your reader, Mark Angelo Lyons Mal for short, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, professional witch, professional intuitive, and mother to 3 black cats, one of which just jumped up, and they should know better to jump up on the... This is Sebastian. This is my oldest. He's going to be, what, 12 years old this year? I think he's a Cancerian, and he's a snuggle bunny. But he's also the old, grumpy old man, and bosses around his 2 younger brothers. You gonna be okay? Here, sit with me. You can sit, you can chill out. No. No wonder they don't come up here more. I love when he does that, though. So let's get down to business. If you are new to my channel, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. I'm putting out content pretty much every single day. I can't remember the last day I didn't put out either a live stream or a recorded video, sometimes both. Because this is what I do for a living now, apparently. So let's get down to it. This is a general read, right? So please take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. That's why I do sun, moon, rising signs, right? For these astrologically based reads, we are looking at the waning moon, the full moon in Scorpio on May 7th to the new moon in Gemini on the 22nd. Waning moon, so sort of looking at what do I need to let go of, what do I need to be aware of, what do I need to back away from to wane, if you will. Although the cards will say what the cards will say. I'm only doing a 6-card draw, which means I'm using 6 different divination systems, 1 card each, just to give you clues, tips, and hints to keep it a little bit simpler, not overload you with information, so it is actually easier to check your other signs and get more pieces of the puzzle. Cool, cool. Last thing I always recommend, if you focus on your breath while I'm focusing on my breath, we all get to stay in the present moment where all the guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power we need is always available. Maybe not as much as we want, but what we need for sure. So I'll be able to bring you through the guidance, grace, and clarity that I've been training to do my entire life, doing this work now, and you'll be able to feel what resonates and leave what doesn't. Cool, cool. Nice deep breath, please. All the decks that I read are in the description box at the bottom. There's other cool stuff in my description box, particularly if you'd like to book me for a reading. That info is down there. Otherwise, we're going to start with Caroline Mace archetype cards with just one. I will call out the other decks as we go. Let's get up in this gig. Breathe. Air signs that you are. So important to breathe. Here we go, my collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 1 card in clarity. What is the perfect archetype card for the Aquarian collective sun, moon, rising signs this full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini? What do they need? What's the soul archetype they need to be aware of? They need to alchemize from lead to gold, shadow to light, this full moon to new moon next May 2020. There we go. 1 card. I asked for 1. They gave me 1, and you've got the father archetype. Now, the father archetype really has nothing to do with bodily gender. Isn't that funny? Sabby jumped up before my Sabby, my Sagitt crabby ass. He's not, he's a Cancerian. My Sabby crabby ass, because he's a Cancer crabby. And I'm Mama, because cats can't say Papa. They go, Mama. That's Mama. And I am a divine feminine, right? So I don't have the father archetype, though I have dealt with plenty of them in my lifetime. So this isn't about bodily gender. Let me read to you the shadow and the light archetype. You'll get what this is about on some level. The shadow attribute, dictatorial control and abuse of authority. You know, that's why the father archetype has devolved into the buffoon father on TV, right? Like Everybody Loves Raymond and on Roseanne, and you know, all of these shows sort of showing the father, where it used to be father knows best and make room for daddy, that the father was the king of the castle. Now, not so much anymore, right? And that's out of reaction to the dictatorial control and the abuse of authority of fathers in general. Over the decades, but now we're coming more into that light attribute, talent for creating and supporting life, positive guiding light within a tribal unit. And that can be very Aquarian, by the way, because though Aquarians may not be known for being overly emotional. Of course, if you have a water moon, that doesn't mean you don't have emotions. Everybody does. Emotions are water. They flow through us. But they can be very egalitarian, very humanitarian, very caring, very cause-oriented that way, right? Can't we all just get along, world peace kind of stuff like that? So can you be a positive guiding light in a tribal unit this full moon to new moon next? Well, let's see. Let's see what the angels have to say about that with the Healing with the Angels Oracle by Doreen Virtue. What are the angels that are helping you heal? Hence, Healing with the Angels Oracle. Nice deep breath. Remember, this has nothing to do with bodily gender. My angels, please. One card in clarity for the Aquarian collective, Sun, Moon, Rising sign. What is the angel that is helping them heal with the Healing with the Angels Oracle for this full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini? Please, my angels, one card in clarity for them for this full moon to new moon May 2020. What do they need? Harmony. All right. Now, the thing about harmony is I studied music briefly. As soon as I got into math, I was out. Because there's mathematical stuff in there like thirds and sixths, which is hard to say if you have a gap in your teeth like I do. So harmony is often about creating a space, right? Two notes right next to each other are dissonant. You got to do thirds or sixths, or you got to create some space there so that things can vibrate in a sympathetic way. So really, with that father archetype of talent for creating and supporting life, sometimes that is about creating boundaries, right? So where the mother archetype is more about unconditional love, the father is more about unconditional support, right? Talent for creating and supporting life, but also knowing when to let go of the back of the bicycle so that the kid can keep going and find that balance and that harmony. So something going on there with the father archetype within you. Let's keep going. Remember, there are 6 cards. We only got 2 down. Let's ask this relatively new oracle deck. I've had it for a couple of months now. The Angels, Gods and Goddesses Oracle. A little bit on the direct side, which I kind of like. Let's see what they have to say. Nice deep breath. Oh, lovely. My angels, gods, and goddesses, please. One card in clarity for the Aquarian collective. Sun, Moon, Rising signs for this full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini, please. An angel, a god, or a goddess. What do they need this full moon to new moon next May 2020? The angel of pleasure. Take pleasure in the things that you do. So look, if you are home with kids, literal kids, yours or otherwise, you can really be a positive guiding light here with this angel of harmony and the angel of pleasure. You got 2 angels right next to each other, right? So harmony and pleasure, this could really be a wonderful time for family life if you have that going on. Now, I myself, I'm living alone, but with my 3 cats, and again, I'm mama. So maybe that is about a talent for creating and supporting life, like creative life, your own creative energy, right? Creating and supporting something that is harmonious and pleasurable for you, not just a hobby or a craft. Maybe a new career grows out of this. But something that's going to really move you away from dictatorial control and abuse of authority, but that doesn't mean that you cannot have that authority in order to author something, right? So what's the opposite of abuse is right use, which unfortunately we have the word righteous, which has such a negative tone to it nowadays. We've had some people abuse their righteous authority because it was never in right use, right? Tricky. But you know what? The divine masculine energy is going through its transformations big time. Where the divine feminines, like, I'm a divine feminine. It's like we've been just biding our time all these centuries. Woo, the rising tides of the divine feminine to balance y'all out all these centuries. Now you got to balance us out. because we're getting more and more powerful every day as we're just empathing and clearing the energy fields of the world through our own emotions. Loving what rises. It's a love revolution. Matt Kahn. We'll get to him. He's the deck after this one. I said deck, D-E-C-K. Speaking of decks, we're going to use the Chuck Spezzano Healing Love Pack. 4 suits here. The problem, luck, healing, and grace. Let's see what the Ascended Masters have to say, both for this deck and next, but I like this deck a lot. There's only like 1 or 2 words, but man, they can hit you right in the third eye. Nice deep breath. My Ascended Masters, please. 1 card in clarity. For the Aquarian Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising signs, what do they need this full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini? Please, a piece of luck, a piece of grace, a piece of healing, or a piece of the problem. You tell us, Ascended Masters, what does the Aquarian Collective Sun, Moon, Rising need this full moon to new moon next May 2020? Happiness. Aquariums. My Aquariums, this is the dawning of the age of Aquariums. I think you guys got the best reading so far of all of them. We still have Pisces after this one. But really, you've got harmony, you've got pleasure, and you got happiness. Well, who put you in charge? I'm glad they did, honestly. So will you spread some of that around, right? Some of that harmony, some of that pleasure, some of that happiness. And by the way, this is the suit of grace. So the grace of happiness. Find out what that means to you. Because the thing about grace is I wrote a book called Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. Here's the deal with that. The deal with that is a grace. The more grace you give, the more grace you have to give. It's just like that. It strengthens in the giving of it away. So to really be happy, your happiness is a service to all of life, just the quantum field. Don't forget that. That is right use of your power. And I can't think of a better way to be a positive guiding light within a tribal unit, even if that tribal unit is all of humanity. Very cool. Very humanitarian. So if you do have that humanitarian, we are the world, we are the children, Link Pink's, Om for the world, there's no place like Om, your happiness, your harmony, your pleasure is a guiding light in all of this. Keep doing it. But don't worry, we still have the possibility of a Womp Womp card with the Healing Mantra deck by Matt Kahn. I love this deck, though. One side of the card is the mantra, the other the name of the mantra. Nothing else is written on these cards, so that's why I would look up by the name of the mantra alphabetically in the bookie book that comes with. I love this deck so much. So let's see what the Ascended Masters, who gave you the Gray Suit card of happiness, let's see what's going on for you all. What's your healing mantra? Breathe. Okay, my Ascended Masters, hi. 1 card in clarity for the Aquarian Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising signs. This full moon in Scorpio to new moon next in Gemini. What is their perfect healing mantra to help them? Really, if they can do something here to kind of help move this energy out into the world in a time when it desperately needs it, please. 1 card in clarity. What do they need? This full moon to new moon next May 2020. There we go. Took a minute, but here it is. Want to see it? Here it go. Rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. And you know what? Come here. Right? Rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. I feel like you have. I feel like you have that strength. I feel like you've been through your traumas. Aquarian, Sun, Moon, Rising Sun watching this, that you have survived it and therefore can really be a guiding force to others who may be going through their traumas, right? Let me read you what this one says. Almost there. Come on. Rewiring the nervous system. I find strength in surviving my traumas. When the nervous system is rewired, you are no longer trapped in the memories of your body. You are the courageous hero or heroine of your present reality, honoring every moment of hardship as the means through which your infinite strength and greatest depth of character is revealed. That's so hot in a divine masculine when they're all heroic like that, right? And they're all strong. That just makes me all Scarlett O'Hara all of a sudden. As you rewire your nervous system, you are no longer responding to life from the vantage point of your painful past, but instead are open to each encounter being more miraculous than the moment before. This mantra is ideal for adjusting to life after loss. Who isn't? Healing heartbreak and becoming more optimistic. With that card of harmony, the angel of pleasure and happiness. Work that mantra. Work that mantra, my aqua lungs. I find strength in surviving my traumas. And then you can really be that positive father vibe archetype. Remember, it has nothing to do with bodily gender, right? Any more than, you know, me being a mother archetype has to do with me being a woman. No, I incarnated as a male in this life, but I have had more lives as a female than male, so I've been told. That doesn't shock me. Apparently I hated men so much I had to come back as a gay one to learn how to love them. Be careful what you witch for. Nice deep breath. As we turn to the Whispers of Love Oracle, the voices of your higher selves, to kind of put a button on the end of this one, a period at the end of the sentence, crossing every T, dotting every I. Nice deep breath, please. Relaxation is the sign of alignment. Please, the higher selves of all involved. One card in clarity for the Aquarian collective. Sun, moon, rising signs. What do they need? This full moon in Scorpio to the new moon next in Gemini, please. What is the whisper of love from their higher selves to them this full moon to new moon next May 2020. Is that 2 cards or 1? That's 2, please. Just the one. Just the one for the Aquarian collective. Sun, moon, rising sign. There we go. Full to new May 2020. Slow down. What does a yellow light mean? Very specific TV reference. Slow down. When you are excited, you get ahead of yourself. Take some time to allow things to unfold. Yeah, some of these oracle cards are just really direct that way, and I like it, right? So, you know, if you are in the process of rewiring your nervous system, surviving some traumas, because, you know, we're all going through a traumatic time. We're grieving the lives we used to have. I had other things planned for this month that, gone, right? Not doing those, although a lot of them were about being on YouTube, so I am fulfilling that part of it. But it's all part of the divine plan, right? And like the mantra, like it said in the bookie book, it's like you can be the hero of this. You can really get out of the memories of the past and really see each moment as the next step on the hero's journey. And honestly, there's nothing more soul sexy to me than somebody who's consciously, deliberately on the hero's journey, because we're all on the hero's journey, but some of us are being cowards and some of us are being villains, right? So you really have the ability to pull this off if you slow down. So let's put this together. We got the father archetype, right? Talent for creative life, creating life and supporting it. Positive guiding light within a tribal unit. And with that, you bring harmony and the angel of pleasure and happiness. Why? Because you have found strength, or will find strength, in surviving your traumas if you slow down. Now, I have many, many Aquarian friends, and if any of them are watching, they're like, slow down, I can't leave the house, right? But think about how fast your minds can go, right? Slow it down, write it out, support your creativity, put it into form in some way, that there's no rush. We don't have to try so hard if it's all part of the divine plan. And Aquarians, I find, have the altitude, fixed air, like the stratosphere, to see aspects of the divine plan. That's why they're always innovating and rebellious and electric and, you know, thinking outside of the box, because they are attuned to that frequency naturally. But if they don't know it, boy, can they become dictatorial. That's why I don't date them anymore. So may the Aquarian collective, sun, moon, rising signs be blessed with all that they need this full moon to new moon next, to find their harmony, to slow down and rewire the nervous system as they alchemize their father archetype from lead to gold with happiness and pleasure for their well-being and for the well-being of all. May they be so blessed. So mote it be. And so it is. Again, please do like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and comment in the comment section below because I do like the feedback. Otherwise, wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this full moon to new moon. Next, my darlings, my aquariums, my aqualungs, hail. Farewell and blessed, blessed be.